I'm going to spend 5 minutes on extracurriculars because I beat the hell out of you yesterday. So, extracurriculars. Do's and don'ts. I'm making it really simple. Do. Create something new. This is what we look for. I'm telling you, admissions committees look for. So when you are doing extracurriculars, there are three things. 3 activities. How many people did more than 3 activities here? Raise your hand. And pre-med. No, come on, that's a lot. There's only 2 people that did more than 3 activities. 3 extracurricular activities all college. 3 did more than 3. In any extracurricular activity, you're part of a club. You are part of a sport. You were. You anything that you would write down on your that's not school, that you would write down on your resume as an extracurricular activity, something you participated in. So you should all participate in things. Number 1, a lot of people participate in way too many things. You're like part of everything. And that's great too, as long as it doesn't get in the way of things. But anyway, the things we look for is that, the reason I say it is because on the application, you can only talk at length about 3 different extracurricular activities you had. 3. So if you played football, and you played basketball, and you're the president of pre-health club, and that's the 3 things you choose to write about, that's it. Everything else is just one little line, like, oh, I did, I started this, I worked in a clinic, I shadowed a doctor, I did, whatever. But you only get a couple of words, period, like a sentence, not even, period. So you can't write at length but on anything but 3 in your application. So that's the reality. So think about that when you're doing things. Create something new. We like that. We really, really like when you create something that was not there. Okay? That's the best thing you can do in an extracurricular is make something that was not. Period. Show passion. Show passion. Show how this is important to you. Make it personal to you. Because, someone in your family is, your brother has Tourette's and you're like, you're really doing something because you're doing something in neurological disorders. You're starting some club or whatever or you're doing research in that because your brother has Tourette's. You're passionate about it because it's personal to you. Not these other people. These are your people being impacted by this. Impact others. Impact others. Impact others. We love that. Demonstrate commitment. You demonstrate commitment in a number of ways. You do this for years. You do this from the day you're a freshman to the day you graduate. That demonstrates commitment. Taking a leadership role demonstrates commitment. There are many ways to demonstrate commitment. Be creative, but show that you're committed to the cause. Okay? Have a common theme. Okay? What I mean by have a common theme is many people are jacks of all trades and they have tons and tons and tons of extracurriculars, but they don't go together. You're like, oh, well, you can't possibly be passionate about every single little thing that's pre-med. You know what I mean? So it needs to have, I would encourage you to demonstrate that, like, everything you've been doing is because it has evolved out of your passion for X or your passion for Y. Okay? Does that make sense? Good. Have a common thing. Demonstrate results. If you can in your thing, say, like for me, I did a barbershop thing where I went to black barbershop, took blood pressure for people because hypertension is a leading cause of, leading risk factor for cardiovascular disease and heart attack, myocardial infarctions, right? So, and it's very prevalent in the black community, and also black men are much less likely to go to a primary care physician. And primary care physicians, one of the things they do every time you go is check your blood pressure. So you're screened for blood pressure. But these people, my people, I showed passion. My grandfather, my father, aren't treated, aren't being screened. People like them. So I showed passion. I showed these are things that are important to me. And I can show numbers. We screen X number of people. See what I'm saying? So you can write about that. That hits, you created something new, you showed passion, you've impacted others, you demonstrated commitment, you should have a common thing. Really, that's the kind of thing you want. That's like the home run. That's kind of how you do it. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? People love that. They don't care that you just did something. They care that you did something that they think is important, and this is why they think it's important. And you take a leadership role by starting. Okay, or you take a leadership role in something that's well established. It can be great to be part of something that's well established. Okay, not Not saying anything like that, but just while you're there, be like, oh, when I'm part of this well-established club, we never did this, so we started doing this. That's what you talk about. All right. What happened? Oops. Don't be a jack of all trades. All right? That's things that are don'ts. Where's the notes? No, yeah. Don't be a jack of all trades. All right. I don't know what that is. Do it just to do it. Don't do it just to do it. Don't comment about one-time things. Don't put that in there. Like, oh, I did the relay for life one year. Like, it sounds like you're reaching for things. You know what I mean? Like, no one cares about that. Seriously. We care about the relay for life. If you organized the event, if you organized the entire relay for life for the school, yeah, we care. If you went and stood at a table with your group, no one cares. Okay, really. Don't put it in there, because then it looks like you really didn't do anything. All right. So, don't write extensively about things that are done commonly by other pre-meds. That should not be like you being a member of AAD. While it's a fantastic group, is not something that I would write extensively about because everyone does it. Now, if you were the president, that might be something. If you were able to do other things other people didn't do, then that's great. You can write about it. But if you were a member, and that was like, oh, and then in the AAD, I was a member, and we did, we went and did a blood drive, and we did this, and we did that, and we did the other thing. Well, so did everyone else in your class that was part of AAD, which is pretty much everyone applying to med school. We don't care. You didn't do anything exceptional, because everyone's doing that. We want to see that you're exceptional. So, think about the things that make you exceptional. Don't lie. Don't lie. Because people find out you're screwed. Because the word travels, you're just done. You're not going to be a doctor. Don't allow activities to get in the way of an academic commitment. Okay? Big, big, big mistake. So a lot of people, it doesn't sound like a lot of you are doing this, but a lot of people allow these extracurriculars to impact their grades. You are a student first. You are a student first. The thing we care about all this stuff, we care most about grades. Okay? And we care about your personal statement and things like that. But extracurriculars are down on the list comparatively to grades. Okay, so don't allow these things to impact your grades. You're a student first. Don't forget it. Okay. All right. Questions about that? Yes.
So in extracurriculars that I'm in, it's Tia.
I don't think you talked yesterday. What's your name?
Tia.
Tia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tia. What's your question?
So I'm having difficulty explaining to my parents, but I'm part of a club called APASU. It's an Asian American student organization. And I've been elected as an external vice president for next year. But my parents are assuming because it's not medical related, I'm allocating my time inappropriately, and I shouldn't be focusing my time in it. So I'm kind of I'm having difficulty
they're not
explaining
correct.
to them, diversity,
Yeah, this is something. You have the things. You're passionate. You're taking a leadership role. It's something that's personal for you. And I'm sure while you're there, you're going to be able to do things that other people haven't done. That organization is going to do many things that they didn't do last time. And then you can talk about that. That's excellent. It doesn't have to be health related. It should be people related. Your goal should be able to help people. But it doesn't need to be health related. So I would say that they're not correct. Sorry to your parents. Tell them I apologize. But any other questions about that? Or are you going? Go ahead.
So I'm someone who likes to try new things and get involved in all different things. Should on application, should I maybe pick and choose 3 most important things that are the biggest impact or something instead of putting into this and this and this?
Well, you have to. You don't have a choice. They only allow you to write about 3 things. That's it. So you have to pick those. That's what I'm telling you. So doing 12 things doesn't help you on top of the 3. It really doesn't. Period. You can do a few more, and that can help you because you can write about it a little bit in your personal statement. Other than that, it doesn't really, diminished returns. You guys have heard of that. You've taken economics. Diminished returns on these other things. Go ahead.
I know for I was a student athlete, so I didn't run with
Yeah.
But I know for me this semester, I had to talk to my coaches, and I was like, I can't be as involved in rowing because I picked up biochemistry and Latin much in the semester. And I was like, it was starting to affect my grades, and I was like, I can't have that happen. So is that something that you would need to mention with your extracurriculars, or?
No, you just tell them you did rowing. You don't need to, you don't let it affect your grades. Because you're not going to be a professional rower, right? I don't know many people make a lot of money rowing, rowing crew. I see them rolling down to Charles. You were there, Doug. Yeah. Rolling down to Charles all day. You're not making a lot of money doing it. You're not making a living. You're never going to put a roof over your head. So you got to remember, you got to decide what you value. It's great. We love athletes. Love athletes. I mean, you play D1 football? Yes. You played it, yeah. A guy that was playing in the NFL. Like, you played in the NFL? Yes, we want you. That's it. It looks good. We love athletes because athletes know how to work in teams. They know what leadership is. They can experience defeat. They know what adversity is. They have a lot of qualities that are important to be in a position. So it looks really good. You should talk about how that has informed your decision and all the qualities that you gathered, all the things you learned for being an athlete. You don't need to mention that you had to quit because of whatever. If you stopped at some point and they ask you in your interview, you just say, look, I want to be a physician first. My grades came first. And people, 100% of the time, they'll respect that. Okay? So, that's it. Yes?
What if you're doing like a solo sport? Like it's not a team sport.
Okay, well, so you don't have that one thing, but But most sports are not, what sport here is a solo sport?
Well, I figure skate, I went to a college.
But tennis is even a team. Golf is still a team. There's a team because the score is tabulated in college sports. So you're still a team. You might not pass the ball to each other, but you're a team. You work out together. Do you know anybody play one of those sports? You have to work out together. You run around that damn track together. You do all that stuff. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. It's still a team sport. What's your question in the back?
What if your extracurricular activities did affect your grades, and at the end they're not like the best?
We'll talk about that in a personal statement. You need to explain that. Now, no one's going to give you a pass because they're going to say, "Wow, you're a student first," and that's a mistake. It is a mistake, but you can make up for it. But it's not going to be like, give her a pass. She was doing too many activities. It's like, if your grades are bad enough, you need to go get more grades, and those grades need to be better. You need to show you can do it. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna move